Hello and welcome back to Alright Guns. So, can a gun that was designed over 100 years ago still be relevant today? Let's find out. So today we are looking at this Marlin 1894 in 44 Magnum. This gun has been in production for the best part of 130 years. Production methods have improved and the calibers have certainly changed, but essentially these are pretty much the same guns as they were back then. Nowadays these are mostly used for recreational target shooting, especially gallery style shooting at 25 and 50 yard ranges. Here in the UK these are really popular, and that's pretty much due to the really tight restrictions on semi-automatic guns and on handguns. These are sort of filling that void. These are getting really hard to get hold of at the moment, and that's due to the fact that Marlin has been bought out by Ruger, and they are moving all the production facilities over to Ruger's Connecticut plant. So that means they're not producing anything at the moment. I have it on good authority though, they will be back to producing soon, and you'll be able to hopefully buy some guns by the end of this year. So I predominantly use 3 different loads for this gun, all home loaded. We use a 240 grain cast load, low velocity for indoor use. We use a 240 grain cast load with a bit more powder in, that's for outdoors. And then when we really want to push it out, we've got some FMJs that we load up to the max and really get some range out of it. But that just shows you the versatility of this rifle and the 44 Magnum cartridge. You can really take it from both extremes. So a quick thank you to Shooting Sports UK. Without their ongoing support we wouldn't be able to bring you all these videos. So thanks to them, and keep an eye out, new videos coming out every Wednesday. So let's get up on the bench and have a look through some of the features. So this gun's available in quite a few configurations, but we're only going to be referring to the standard models here today. You can get this gun chambered in 44 Magnum or in 45 long Colt, and then there's also the 1894C, which is also almost identical, apart from it's chambered in 357 Magnum and it's got a slightly shorter barrel. The overall length on these are 38.5 inches, and they come in at about 6.5 pounds in weight. So starting at the back, there is a nice textured brown rubber pad with a black spacer. It's quite firm, but it's quite good, offers a good amount of grip, keep it in your shoulder. This is a straight stock obviously, and this is made from American black walnut. The length of pull is 13 3/8 of an inch. And just like most Marlins, dimensionally it lacks height in the cone. So what that means is it's not too bad aiming to the iron sights, but any addition of optics and you're really going to struggle to get your head up there. But unlike my 45-70, where you have to brace a little bit and you know, get your cheek on the pad, which is why I put a riser on that gun. On this one, it's very forgiving, being a pistol cartridge, so you don't mind floating your head a little bit to bring your eye in with the sight. But you know, you may want to put a pad on there at some point. The checkering on these isn't particularly deep, but it's okay for what you need it for. And this one comes with sling swivel studs fitted as standard. So the loading lever on this one, this is just the standard size, not the big loop versions. So let me just show you. I've got reasonably sized hands, and they'll go in there even with this wrap on there. But I wouldn't want to try this with some really thick gloves. While we're on, just mention the paracord. This is something I do with all my lever guns. I tend to shoot these quite a lot, and the edges of the steel will wrap your knuckles every now and again, so something I would do as soon as I get them, really, and recommend you do the same. So just a bit on the safety. Safety catch is a push through design, and what it does is it actually blocks the hammer. You can still, so when the red indicator's not on, so that gun is now safe, but you can still pull the trigger. But if you look, the hammer has not made contact with the firing pin. Just show you again, so now the gun is live and the hammer's made it all the way to the firing pin. So that's how the safeties work on these guns. So Marlins load from the port here and they eject here. I've said it before, this is the best system of lever action gun there is. Some of them, though, you have to load them from the front, or some they'll eject from the top, which causes you havoc with sights. This is by far the best option. Now, what I quite like on the 1894 is this bolt here. It's almost looks like it makes up the receiver. It blends in so nicely that you almost don't notice it's there. It just looks really good, really slick, rather than the the captive bolts you find on other lever guns. The trigger is single stage, and it's a medium strength pull. Unfortunately, it does still flop around a little bit like all Marlins do, but that's okay. You soon get used to that. It doesn't really cause any problems. I've paired it here with a 1.5 to 5 times 25 scope. But you don't need to put a scope on it. It does come fitted with semi-buckhorn adjustable sights, which work quite well. It's worth mentioning while we're talking about scopes. The scope tends to cause problems with the hammer, and you can see there how close that is. And if you decock this one, your hammer gets crushed between the hammer and the scope. So what Marlin have done to get around this is a hammer spur, which attaches to the hammer and comes out to the side, and that allows you to operate it out of the way of any optics you've got on there. Magazine wise, this is a 10 round tubular magazine, and this is also a 20-inch barrel with deep cut 6 groove rifle in with a 1 38 twist. That's about it now, so let's get down the range and see how it shoots. So the answer to the original question is yes. Even after 130 years, the Marlin 1894 is still definitely relevant, just maybe not for the purpose it was originally designed. So, just trying to think what you may not like about this gun. It is fairly traditional with the straight pistol grip, but to be honest, with the dark editions now coming out, there's ergonomic grips, rails, black furniture, even threaded muzzles on those. So whether you want traditional or more modern, there's one of these to suit everyone. For me, the only thing that I'd like Marlin to really do is to bring this out into some more calibers, something more interesting for us. Maybe the 454 Casull would be good, 50 Action Express, or maybe even the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. That'd be really interesting. Well, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.